broadcasting from various countries around the world using voice over IP technology. This is VoIP Uncovered, a VoIP on Solutions UK podcast. I'm Kathleen Reed. Joining us today is Mark Trowbridge, CEO of Foncordiax, and today we're going to learn a little more about the company's new line of plug-and-go devices. Thanks for joining us today, Mark.
You're welcome.
So we understand this product is going to be targeted at some very specific vertical markets, and this is supposed to be a very easy product to set up and get going. Can you walk us through a simple setup?
Yeah, I guess you're talking about our new retail product, which we devised really a couple of months ago, and we're launching this Wednesday coming, the 18th of November. As I say, we spent quite a few months looking at the hardware, the branding, the point of sale, and in particular the installation and configuration, really to ensure that retail outlets need little or no technical knowledge. The first thing I'd like to mention is the Foncordiax is a phone system. It's not a PC converted into a phone system. It's actually, we started from the ground up and actually built the hardware centered on making it into a phone system. So you won't actually find the normal connectors you find on the back of a PC. You'll just find the connectors that are there for the telephony, which again means the end user is not getting confused about where to put plugs and cables and things of that nature. Then we took really the KISS approach, the keep it simple approach, to configuration, and worked on the basis that it's easier to change something than it is to create something. And that is to say that we've actually built all the systems pre-configured to something that will probably suit 80% of clients, and then those that want to make amendments and changes can do. So when they actually unpack the system, it's really ready to go once they've plugged all the connections in. So, in essence, they receive the unit, unpack it, plug in the connectors, plug in a handset, go around to a PC if they want to make any changes, but generally they can just pick up a handset and start making calls.
Excellent. In a recent news release, you announced that you would be integrating Sangoma boards into all of your appliances. Why should this be important for your retail customers?
Oh, really, really important. I mean, we've used, over the last 2 years, we've used many components inside our systems, and they're all good. There's nothing wrong with them, but Sangoma are a very special company. We've tried to engineer a system that we like to call is the Rolls-Royce of IP PBXs, and Sangoma fit our ethos in terms of quality, in terms of backup and support. We haven't had one Sangoma card go wrong on us in all the time we've installed them. And in terms of product development, they're just streets ahead of anybody else. And at the end of the day, they're just a really nice bunch of guys to deal with. So they fit really nicely in with our model of trying to create top-notch product and reliable product that the consumer can be satisfied is going to work for years to come.
Great. So for VoIP-On's listeners who are a little more involved in the telephony space, I think they'd like to know what's running under the hood. Rumor has it that it's basically Freepbx, but is it more? And if so, what makes it different?
Yeah, it's Freepbx. Fabulous operating system, if you like. It's got some tweaks in it, some things that we've done and made some changes, but basically it's a branded version of Freepbx. But what I really want to touch on is a phone system is much more than just the components within it. I used to build software solutions for companies based on SQL Server and Microsoft Access, which were both solid, reliable systems, and we used to charge a lot of money to end users for bespoke systems, which they were very, very happy with. So taking Freepbx really is no different. But when we touch on the other components, Joe Roper, the company's CTO, likens it to baking a cake. You can all start with the same ingredients, but some end up as flat pancakes. And I like that analogy because, we have seen some dreadful, let's say, end-user appliances using Freepbx, but equally we've seen some very, very good ones. But moving on from that, I'd like to take that analogy a little bit further. And let's say you do make good cakes, but now you want to start selling those cakes down at the local market. This starts to involve making them to a particular design, buying in more ingredients in quantity. Obviously, there's financial restrictions and constraints on that. There's storage, there's transport, and more of your time. Let's take it a bit further. Let's say you now want to sell it into local shops. There's pricing, there's packaging, perhaps even bigger cookers are needed, and maybe even a bigger kitchen. And now you have to start managing orders and deliveries and bringing in maybe potentially some staff. And now let's say somebody in Australia wants to sell your cakes. You're now into the realms of more stock, more staff, shipping, accountancy, and a whole host of other things that come into play. So, whilst Freepbx is under the hood, that doesn't make the Foncordiax. The Foncordiax is made up of a multitude of components and parts and people that turn it into a very robust, very reliable, very solid phone system that's going to be here for years to come.
Great. So what else might we expect to see from Foncordiax in the future? Are there any interesting products in the pipeline that you'd like to share with VoIP Uncovered listeners?
Yeah, there's actually loads. I mean, we've come up with our new range, as I say, which is launching next week, which we think is going to excite the marketplace. We're not necessarily going after the or attacking or approaching the open source sector. There's a lot of product already out there that fits that niche. Some great open source software, PBX in a flash, and Trixbox, and there's equipment out there. Rhino, for example, very good piece of equipment. So, in terms of your listeners that are in the open source sector, we're not looking to steal a march on you or take any of your market away. We're really trying to get into the proprietary marketplace, and that's really where we want to be with the Foncordiax as a brand. So outside of our standard product range, which will suit many a business, we're looking at some of the vertical markets. We've got a fabulous new product which is based on business centres and any sectors that have got multi-tenant scenarios. And we'll be launching that probably, I guess, looking at our marketing people, we'll probably launch that around February, March of next year. But that'll come with complete with individual PBXs, billing platforms, and connectivity through Sangoma again, and will be just a fabulous product. Other things that we're going to be introducing into the Foncordiax itself, one of our distributors has requested that we build in video conferencing, so we're looking at that, and that should be coming out. I guess January, maybe February, we'll have that as a module inside Foncordiax. So lots to come.
Great. So do you have any other predictions about the future of the telephony market in general, and perhaps the future of the plug-and-go type appliance?
Yeah, I think we kind of stumbled into the plug-and-go really because we had a product that does install very, very easily. So it's just a sort of a natural progression into that marketplace and really into the retail arena. But I think, I've been looking at it long and hard, and when you think back sort of 30, 35 years ago when we used to buy PCs, there was a day when you'd buy your PC from a computer company rather than a local shop, and then good old Microsoft invented Windows, and it really opened up the whole marketplace in terms of being able to buy a PC from a local store, bring it home, connect it, and start playing with it. And I guess that's what I'm seeing, or I feel we're going to see in terms of phone systems. We're going to see phone systems being available, more readily available, even potentially via eBay. Take it home, unpack it, plug it in, and start working. And I think there'll be an evolution of industries coming off the back of that in terms of support and integration with things like CRM packages and recording and video conferencing and a whole host of things. So the same way as the PC model has gone, I think there's no reason why the phone industry shouldn't go down exactly the same road. And I guess we're quite proud of the fact that we're first to go out to market with a true retail version. And we'll be interested to see over the coming months how that's picked up and how other companies get involved in that market sector as well.
Excellent. So thanks so much for your time today, Mark. That was a great interview, and look forward to speaking with you again in the future.
Fantastic, Kathleen. Nice to talk to you too.
This has been a VoIP Uncovered podcast brought to you by VoIP Solutions. For more information, please visit www.voipon.co.uk.